16-inch MacBook Pro. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, that's not a very nice price. I think I can do better. This is my 2015 15-inch MacBook Pro. This has been my daily driver laptop essentially until I got my 2017 13-inch MacBook. I paid like $400 for that guy. It was a great deal. And because it's so light and so portable, I take it almost everywhere. And this guy has essentially been used as a mobile editing rig exclusively. Now, over the years, the performance has significantly dropped on this guy. I'm pretty sure the thermal paste has almost completely dried up. I replaced it once and I got a good performance boost, and I've noticed that those gains have gone away. So I picked up some Noctua NTH1. Let's replace the thermal compound in this and see if that increases our performance at all. Now, in order to measure performance, I've booted into Windows. Windows essentially allows me to tell the CPU, use as much power and everything as you want, give me a more accurate representation of how much performance I'm gaining by swapping out my thermal compound. All right, so now with the computer shut down, let's get this thing disassembled and swap out some thermal paste. All right, so my super amazing anti-static and professional workspace is my kitchen table. So let's get this guy flipped around and pop out all the screws. This screw is stripped. This screw is very stripped. I don't know how that happened. Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy. This computer's a little bit dusty. What is this white powder in here? Let's get this guy all cleaned out. I'm gonna take this to the air compressor and we're gonna get rid of it all. I'm gonna take these two little rubber things out because they typically give me problems whenever I go to put the computer back together. Sorry guys, I started disassembling this guy not realizing that my camera was not actually recording. So what I've done is I've blown this guy out with the air compressor, removed these two brackets from right here, which hold the CPU cooler in place, and I've just started disassembling the computer. The reason I'm only doing this thermal paste replacement on this computer and not my 13-inch is because the 13-inch mounts with the cooler underneath the board, and I didn't want to have to fully disassemble that computer. I can see that it is screwed in. I can also see all the thermal paste is shifted around a bunch. All right, so, you can see we have a lot of the die without thermal paste on it. You can see a lot of the IHS, specifically over here, does not have adequate thermal paste mounting, and this stuff is turned essentially to oil plus some powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this guy cleaned up with some isopropyl and some Q-tips, and we're going to get this thermal compound replaced. Now let's go ahead and reassemble everything with our nice new thermal compound. Again, I'm going to clean this off one more time. Nice. That's much nicer than it was before. Oh, good. All right, now for the moment of truth. Does my laptop even turn back on? Fingers crossed. We have a screen. Oh, beautiful, Windows. Let's fire this guy up. I want to see these clock speeds and these temperatures here. But typically when Windows boots, this thing fires up its fan speed because it just maxes out the CPU. We're starting to hear the fans kick in. Still above base. We're not near our max boost, but we're well above base. I mean, it's gonna run at 100 degrees. Almost every laptop's gonna run at 100 degrees because if they didn't, they would be leaving performance on the table and consumers would get mad for that reason. But we are sitting at much higher power usage. Before we were at like 38 watts. Our fans are kicking up. We're not pinned at 100. And we're staying above base clock. That does not lie. Just got an 18% performance boost for $6 in thermal compounds, about half an hour of my time, and the risk of destroying my laptop. So I'd say that's worth it. Thank you guys for watching. The performance results don't lie. I mean, this was an 18% performance uplift for not very much time or money. So if it can keep me holding on to this laptop a little bit longer without having to, buy another one, or, contribute to any e-waste. I don't get rid of electronics very often. I usually give them down to family members who can still use them. But so, got some extra performance out of my computer, got a video out of it, and all it cost me was some thermal compound. Now, this is also a learning experience for this thermal compound. The thermal compound that I put in my laptop is the same thermal compound that's in 3 other desktops that I have. Now those desktops don't run near thermal junction, which I believe is why I haven't noticed any performance degradation over time with that thermal compound, because it's not getting hot enough to break down. It broke down in my laptop because it runs quite hot. So by replacing it with some high performance and high quality Noctua thermal compound, I have now learned to not use that stuff in the future, and I will be going around eventually to all of my computers and replacing their thermal compound with this stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Feel free to subscribe or don't. It's up to you. And I'll catch you in the next one.